thank you to Visit Mooresville for having us back in town on beautiful Lake Norman, and a tremendous thank you to Custom Tackle Supply for supporting Queen City, for having a bunch of our guys in there yesterday, helping them out with some shopping and some tackle and some gear, and just for being here 2 years in a row. You know, we don't get to see Mike, the owner of the shop, very often, but he supports from behind the scenes, and his logo looks really good on his glass, I must say. So we are here for our second round of Lake Norman this year. Last year, Lake Norman showed out. I went back and looked, and it was late June, I believe it was, and Norman really did well in the summer, so we gave it another chance today. And I know some of you in here are going to say we don't want to come back in the summer, but the numbers are pretty good today. And we had 95 anglers sign up last night. We had to give one refund. If you're a praying man, say a prayer for him, or woman. Say a prayer for him. He's dealing with a little bit of sickness, so hopefully he's going to be okay. But we ended up with 94 anglers today, which is awesome for a June event. School's out, kids are on vacation, families are on vacation. We know that this time of the year the numbers tend to dip a little bit, but we had exactly the same with 94 that we had last year, which is awesome. I love that. We are still on our pace with the main series of 120. We're sitting at 128 is our average through 6 events. So congratulations to you all. That's pretty awesome. So thanks for being here. Today was a steady flow of fish. I didn't know how busy we'd be. I thought the morning would be really busy. And it turned out the first hour was pretty busy. Then it hit a little bit of a lull. And then from 11 o'clock until we're sitting here right now, we've been busy. We had 334 fish come through Tourney X. I'm sure there were a million other 12 inchers that didn't get submitted and 2 million other under 12 inchers that didn't get put on the board today. But Tourney X was great, flawless platform today. Everything worked as needed. Thank you, Dwayne, for being who you are in the game. Out of 94 anglers, we had 48 limits. That's awesome. Half the field caught a limit today. We only had 5 people skunk, and we're gonna give away a lot of money today. This is our single lake event, so it is a $2,000 guarantee. That was the deal this year. If it was a single lake event, I was gonna bump the payouts even more. We were gonna pay $2,000 first, plus all of our other prizes. So we're gonna start today with our Rock Outdoors team division. This is event 6, so we're getting to where the standings are gonna start to make more sense. We're gonna count your top 7 events for teams. And today with 70 3/4 inches, we have Mr. Jeremy Heath and Mike Hicks taking home the Rock Outdoors team division. So I'm gonna let you guys hold this in between you all up here. Talk about today. No, let them talk first. Hold that test mic in between you guys. Tell us about your team victory and how it went, what's caught them on, and all that good stuff. It's a nice shirt you got on.
Oh, you like that?
I like that, man. Oh, the hat is fancy. I like the hat too. Yeah. I might have one of those.
You first. Okay. Well, it's got out early.
That's it, really.
But I got out early, got on a quick bite this morning, caught a couple good fish. I guess one of them helped for the team event, and then 30 minutes to go, I caught a 19.5, which probably solidified this.
Pretty sure it was less than 30 minutes to go.
Was it?
I think so. I think it was like 26 minutes left to go, something like that. Yeah. So what about you, Mike? How was your day?
Well, I'm kind of just glad I called them. It's normally fine. It's probably the best I've ever done at Norman. It's just always been a rough lake for me. So I caught it 18 3/4, which you had a little bit of trouble with. I appreciate you working with me.
Yeah.
First, and then I went out deep and caught the rest.
Nice. Well, good work. You guys are going to take home $75 each. Most importantly, you're going to take home 300 points in your battle for the team TOC. So congratulations. Mary's going to take your picture and we'll send you on your way. Give it up for Mike and Trevor. Now, we had probably the biggest battle for small bass that we've ever had. It was actually fun. Like, I was literally laughing because, and I guess it's a good story to tell. So you know, it started off early, like a 9.5er came in, and I didn't say anything to the field, and then a 10.5er came in, and an 11-incher came in, and I'm like, okay. And then finally, someone put a 6.5. So I sent that first message that raise your hand if you read the push notification. Okay, that's good. You guys are proficient at turning X. Thank you. So 6.5 slowed it down a little bit, and then Jeremy drops a 5.75 in my DMs, and as soon as I finish holding the laughing emoji on his picture, Mr. Matthew Carey, all 14 years old, sends a 5.5-incher right behind him, and he's gonna go home with the average. Aaron's Base Small Bass Award today worth $215. I get 10% because you're not even old enough to get it. So stand here, tell us about your day, tell us about your short fishing career.
Yeah. My first tournament was April last year, I think, and I've just been getting better since. This morning I caught 3 right off the bat. That was a good day, but didn't get anything else. So I threw a net rig to try and get something small for small bass. And I got a little discouraged whenever I saw that 5.75, and I was like, oh, snap. And then caught it right after.
You caught it right after. I mean,
Yeah,
within
right
minutes.
after.
Within minutes. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, I will say I smile every time you get close to a limit because I know you're our youngest angler. We used to have a couple of younger ones. You are the youngest angler we have. I know you were fighting for a limit today, but watching you go home with a plaque and money made my day. So good job. Take a picture. I'll grab this mic. Your dad should be up here with us. Look at Dad's smile. He has officially started his hardware wall. I love it.
And 1099.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. I don't really know what happens if you clear 599, so we're just going to have to stop you there. In 11th place today, going home with a free entry into our next event. With 65 3/4, Mr. Tang Yang. I don't think Tang made it back. I didn't see him come through. So, Tang, I hope you're watching. Good job, buddy. Oh, that's not Tang Yang. Good job earning a free entry into our next trail event, and we'll catch up when you get off the water safely. In 10th place, going home with a smooth $100 and a frame certificate with 66 1/4 inches, Mr. Nick Huddleston in senior. So Nick's gonna go home with a frame certificate, custom supply, visit Mooresville, valuable points for the TOC. Nick's out there. He's fighting. He's giving a healthy fight. In 9th place, going home with $140 with a total of 66 1/4 inches, Mr. Chris Grant. Going home. Going home with some valuable AOY points. I'm not sure how many events he's fished, but going home with a frame certificate.
He told me this morning he can't miss another one.
Say it again.
He told me this morning he can't miss another one.
Okay, so yeah, I thought so. I thought he was close. Okay, well, if you can't miss another one, then 9th place is a good finish for you.
Hey, he's my teammate. I ain't letting him miss it.
Well, if you let him miss 2 or 3 already, you got it.
That was on him.
In 8th place, going home with $175 with a total of 66, Mr. Silent Assassin, Lowell Brown. Lowell's not here. Don't know if Lowell's on the way. We spoke earlier. Hopefully he's watching and I guess at this point probably turns around. He's got a long drive. In 7th place, going home with $230 and winning the tiebreak for 8th place with a 1975 incher with a total of 66 1/4 inches as well, Mr. Jason Davis. Long drive. No, we're getting used to seeing you collect some hardware and some money, baby. Tell us about it, Georgia boy.
So, waffle flopper early, and then just grind it on up and shake it for the rest of the day on docks.
Sounds pretty Normandish.
Pretty cool.
Cool.
I'll take it my second time.
Yeah, man, and you know, we appreciate you coming up. You know, you're far away and 3-hour drive down to Georgia. What part of Georgia? Evans.
Park Hill.
That's what I was gonna say, right? So Clarksville. So yeah, so hanging out. Chad lives down
I live in
there.
Aiken.
Okay, good deal. I would move if he's close. So Jason you're gonna make a run at the rest of the events, the main events, right? Is that what you said?
I don't think I've missed the main yet, and I made all the summers.
Sweet. So I think we'll end up seeing you in TOC. So let me grab this and give it up for Jay one more time. Jason also qualified for the South Carolina Bass Nation State Championship. So he'll be taking his skills to Santee in October and fighting for a top 10% Murray, not Santee. Last year was Santee. Good thing I'm not going to Santee. In 6th place, going home with $300 and a total of 68.5 inches. I think he's going to be pretty excited to be walking up here right now. Mr. Alex Van Dyke. I'll tell you what, even if you're not excited, your groupies are excited for you.
They stay with me. They gotta be.
Take that, take this, and tell us about your day. Congrats, this is your best finish, right?
Yes, by far.
But not by far. Didn't you have like a 12th place?
I had 16 at 17.
Well, you know, before you even start talking, like, you got a little down last year.
Very down.
Very down. Okay, I was being nice. He got very down last year. Wasn't sure if this is where he wanted to be, what he wanted to be doing. And I told him to put the work in, and you'd see it would come to life. And this is the second time you've been on stage with me. You just got a plaque from the table. Now you got another piece of hardware and $300, so the payouts are getting bigger. So I'm proud of you. Congratulations. And tell us about your day.
So here recently I've been catching a bunch of fish on the drop shot, and that's what I did on Sunday up at Long Island, which I was afraid was going to be blown out, but that's where I went in. And everybody knows that's where I like to fish.
Was
No
it
secret?
Was it really buddy?
No.
Really?
They haven't run any water yet.
So it hasn't got
It hasn't. It's just been naturally flowing down. So I got there really early. Ramp was what I expected it to be visibility-wise. Couldn't get drop shot to work. Shaky head. Put a quick limit. It was like 61 inches. Caught a couple small ones, and the last 3 hours I got to throw a medium home catch and check. I caught 2 18.5s. One was like 13 or 17 minutes left. And that jig, I only had 3 bites the last 3 hours, but 2 of them were the right bites. So,
I mean, that's jig fishing, right? You're fishing for bigger bites with the jig. You did exactly what you should do. You got your limit, you picked something up to cull. Some people pick up a big swim bait, you picked up a jig. We know you love the jerk bait.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm happy for you. Congratulations. Big points for the TOC.
Yeah, it takes a lot of pressure off me to travel later because I'm very, don't have a good track record, and just it takes a lot of pressure off me later in the year to.
Your teammate's not going to let you miss Murray.
No, probably not.
He's going to beat you there.
I'm going to go back to your religion for my first year. This is trash.
Cool. Well, good job. Congratulations. Give it up for Alex. My phone is there. Let me see if I can check my messages real quick. It's on his way at 3:26. All right. Well, if this guy comes, we're gonna let him talk about his day, but we're gonna move through. In 5th place, somebody who has become a friend outside of the fishing world and in the fish tank world. He's come to my house numerous times. The last time he was there until about midnight when we were plumbing a tank. It was interesting. But going home with $400 in 5th place with a total of 68 3/4. And he lost at least an inch in penalties today because he hardly fishes kayak tournaments. He's a boat angler. So his pictures were awful. Not going to be even sugar-coated. Mr. Spencer Taylor. So Spencer is a hammer out here on Norman in the boat world. He last year committed a little bit to us in the kayak world. This year completely vanished, just life's been busy. He decided to jump in. He messaged me last night, put me in the event, and here he is going home with $400. He had a 19 1/4 that was one of the hardest penalties I've had to give in a long time, but we ended up giving him a penalty. And you'll look at it for the open mouth. And then he had another one, not as hard of a penalty, open mouth on a 16 and change. So he lost an inch, which today cost him a good bit of money, unfortunately. But either way, going home with $400, so congrats to Spencer. In 4th place, by virtue of tiebreak with a 19 1/2 incher, going home with $540 for 4th, and another $675 for one of our largest elite pots of the year. And he's already been up here to collect $75 with his teammate, Mr. Jeremy Mountain Boy Heat. You should just like take one of these carts when you show up to the tournament.
Say it again, bud. Say it again. About time.
Jeez. About time what? Shut up. Shut up. I mean that in the nicest way, but my goodness, these guys right here, they don't want to hear that. Jeremy caught a big one late, literally propelled him up the standings. He had a decent limit, nothing crazy, drops a 19.5 on the board within the last 28 minutes, and here he is collecting over about $1,200 today, so more than that. Yes, 12 and change.
That's going to be perfect to go on our trip out west.
Where we going?
Why?
Like
Wednesday.
What? Go visit my brother. Nice. Awesome. Yeah, it's fun. Well, tell us about everything and congrats again. What minute?
First thing this morning, I got on a school of fish that was all 17s. I caught 2 of them. I lost 3 of them. Would have been nice, but you know, it is what it is. I fought with a worm the rest of the day and was able to catch the rest of my limit and then started pulling up. And then the 19.5 happened with 30 minutes to go. Less than 30 minutes to go.
I was trying to look right now exactly what time. 105. Submitted at 106. So 25 minutes left, and it changed your day for $1,200. So
Big time.
you know, you're a huge example of the never give up. You did it in bass with the 25-incher with 30 minutes left. What you get, $500 there.
Yep.
You've done it here numerous times. This isn't the first time we've had this conversation. So you need to just get on a podcast and just talk to younger anglers who might be down on themselves for having a rough year, because every minute counts. He could have been at the ramp at 125 or 105. He could have been at the ramp loading up, miserable, and instead he's up here collecting the biggest payday of the day almost. So
at 129, I'm still casting as hard as I did when I first started.
yeah, and that's the way it's got to be, man.
Okay.
So appreciate it. Good work. Thanks for being here, and travel safe to Wyoming.
Oh yeah.
Mary, can we get a picture for you? Give it up for you. In third place with 70 inches, the old school magic number, going home with $700, Mr. Yi Han. I didn't see Yi come through the door. Yi is probably got about a 2.5 hour drive or so. So give it up for Yi. Didn't see this guy come through the door either. In second place, going home with a smooth $1,000 today with 70.5 inches, Mr. Jared Stanley. Yeah, it wasn't on my list. Jared also had a big bass today. Come up here, baby. With an absolute monster, a 22-incher who looks like he's battling the flu or COVID or something. He had a lot of marks on him. But, so Jared's going to go home with $1,300 today for second and the big bass. So congratulations, buddy. Appreciate it. Tell us about your day.
I'm actually doing a junk fish job there. Just an upgrade after whenever the big bass was caught. Caught it on the jig, caught some on a drop shot at the wiki rig, and a shanky.
Caught the big one at 10:08 this morning.
Yeah, that's upgrade.
So Jared had a 22, a 17, a 16.5, and a 15. So that 22, that was huge for you.
Yeah.
That was huge. And when it happened, it put him up in first place, and then somebody jumped him, and then I think you actually ended up back in first, I think, and maybe not if you didn't call. And then we had another battle at the end here. But great work. I know you wanted these points. I know you started the year off a little bit slow. You've been doing well in the South, and this is huge for you, 295 points. So give it up for Jared. As you guys know, our Big Bass sponsor all year long is Net Financial Consultants. So if you're looking to invest or you have questions about investing, give Dan Mullane a call. I can get you in contact. He was at the expo. He was here when we were here in February. He's who I invest with. Mary and I invest in him. So you invest in Dan? You know Dan? We got to get Ryan investing with Dan. And our second place title sponsor for the year is Final Finish Detailing. They're coming out to the house tomorrow to take care of our cars. They've been taking care of our cars all year. So if you're looking for a good wash, detail, ceramic coat, give Chris a call there. So that's why Jared's able to go home with so much money today. And in first place, we're going to put a nickname, put a bow on it. I think that's going to be his new nickname. With 73 summer Lake Norman inches, anchored by a 19.5, followed by a 19.25, a 17.25, and a 17. And I know he's mad he didn't get to weigh in the 22 and change that he caught yesterday in practice. Your leading angler of the year, presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors, Mr. Landon Smith. A bow on. Now I will say, it's not over yet, and I think you know that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But regardless, you're going home with the Custom Tackle Supply $2,000, courtesy of Custom Tackle Supply and Visit Mooresville. The large plaque. You are currently the king of Lake Norman. Massive day today, and congrats. Your lead has grown. You were already leading, and tell us about it. It's your moment.
Yeah, sort of like you said, my day really started yesterday. I sort of picked a random ramp because I liked a single point that I could get to at that ramp for a morning bite, and I fished there last evening. Caught about a 6.5, 7-inch pounder, almost the exact same fish actually. One big bass today. As I got out of the dock, another one followed it, so I was like, all right, I at least know there's 2. I'm going here tomorrow. I got nothing else. So I chased those 2 fish the entire day. I had the same 4 docks, 2 to each side of the dock that I caught it on about 5 times today. Managed to get 2 19s, didn't get either of those 2. Day started out with a pretty sweet shad spawn, a soul crushing and awesome shad spawn. Sitting there in the dark, listening to it all happen, you're like, this is unbelievable. Just listening to the destruction that was happening.
You're saying we should have launched earlier?
No. I got there. Again, that was the point that I hadn't fished. I was like, this looks good on the map. I'm gonna go there. Turns out it was all striper. Had to go around the corner to find any bass. Caught the 19, a 14, a 12.5 pretty early. Knew I had a limit after about 45-ish minutes. Only submitted to 19s. I was like, hopefully I get these other fish out of here. So I just went chasing. I bounced around a ton. I'm sure anybody that went out of the range I went out of, you saw me like 7 times because I was just bouncing all over the place. I didn't have anything necessarily other than docks. Sun came out, started hitting docks, and that was that.
That was it. Awesome. Well, like I said, man, 300 points on top of your lead, $2,000. I know you're pumped. I know we're
Pumped. I'm excited.
You earned it, man. Congratulations. Give it up for Landon again.
Make sure I always in there. There we go.
1, 2.
Thank you.
All right, so that wraps up our Lake Norman. I don't think anybody walked in late that I wanted to bring up here. Huge shout out to you guys. You know, I said it before we went live. We did really well on the pictures today. Judges get a little stressed out when you fish primarily spotted bass lakes. We know it's a little harder to close those mouths. It can be done, but we know these are the days we usually see a lot of penalties. You guys did really well. Multiple pictures, good angles, everything was good. So good work today. Our next event is our annual Catawba Clash, but the slight modification this year, there is no Lake Norman involved. I didn't want to give you an opportunity. I didn't want to give people the opportunity to fish one lake 5 times in a season and count towards your AOI or TOC. So there will be no Lake Norman on the Catawba Clash. We'll be bypassing that lake, and the full list is out, but I'll put it out again for you. And that's on July 22nd. And then early August, which is new for us. We don't usually fish a trail event in August, but we're going west to Lake Fontana. I don't know how many people are watching or actually care, but I'm going to tell it to you because Ryan and I have been really dissecting the numbers. There is a chance we assume Fontana is going to be pretty small. There's a backdoor chance if you just fish Fontana and the final mountain mix-up event in the west, you might roll into the TOC with just 2 western events and your 4 mains. It's just looking like it could happen. It could not happen, but if you haven't fished a western event yet and you end up free on August 5th, you really should try to take a trip to the mountains. I know it's far away. It's a beautiful lake, deep ledges, crystal clear, all 3 species. And give yourself a backdoor chance to get into the Tournament of Champions if you don't have a seat through the main event. We did have another member sign up today, which bumps our bass membership up to 60. So we're taking 60 to the state championship, which is on Lake Norman this year in November 4th. Yeah, November 4th. So you're still fighting for top 60 there. You're fighting for top 25 for TOC, and then you have your Western and your Southern opportunities to get in there. So if you still have questions, if you're watching live or you're sitting here with me and you still have questions about how you can qualify, and we're going to be really close to that $15,000 mark, let me know. Don't leave here confused. We're here to help you. And then we have the Emerald event on August 19th. So it's time for me to get with BizBait, start working on some details with that. But we do plan on keeping the 3 lakes open and doing a BizBait sponsored / all BizBaits event like we've been doing. So we'll get some details rolled out for that. But I appreciate you all. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Visit Mooresville. Thank you, The Pit. Thank you, Custom Tackle Supply. And we will see you all soon. Take care.